The Department of Justice plays a central role in upholding laws and ensuring justice across the United States. But what if there are aspects of this institution that are far less transparent than they appear? While the DOJ is often seen as the ultimate arbiter of justice, there are growing concerns about the hidden workings of this powerful organization. Let's explore some of the areas that critics argue the DOJ prefers to keep out of public view. Instances of prosecutorial overreach, where innocent people are charged to further a political or career agenda, often go unpunished. Federal law enforcement agencies, overseen by the DOJ, have been accused of shielding their agents from consequences for unethical or illegal actions. Whistleblowers who expose misconduct within the department often face retaliation, rather than protection, discouraging transparency. The DOJ frequently relies on sealed indictments and gag orders, leaving the public unaware of critical cases. National security is often cited as a justification for withholding information, even in cases where transparency might be in the public interest. Critics argue that excessive secrecy creates a system where abuses of power can thrive unchecked. Despite being framed as impartial, the DOJ has been accused of selective enforcement based on political pressures. Investigations into high-profile political figures often raise questions about whether justice is applied equally, regardless of party affiliation. Some cases appear to be fast-tracked or delayed based on media narratives rather than legal merit. The DOJ's involvement with mass surveillance programs, such as those exposed by whistleblowers like Edward Snowden, raises concerns about privacy violations. Federal law enforcement agencies under the DOJ's jurisdiction have been accused of using controversial tools like geofencing and facial recognition without adequate oversight. Many Americans remain unaware of how often their data is accessed without explicit consent. Audits have revealed billions of dollars in questionable spending by agencies under the DOJ's umbrella. Some contracts and funding allocations have been tied to favoritism and conflicts of interest. The DOJ rarely faces public scrutiny for how it allocates taxpayer dollars despite its massive budget. Critics argue that the DOJ perpetuates the private prison industry by pushing for sentences that disproportionately affect marginalized communities. Contracts with for-profit prison companies raise ethical concerns about whether justice is truly being served or commodified. Efforts to reform sentencing and reduce mass incarceration often face resistance from the DOJ, particularly when it impacts lucrative private contracts. The DOJ holds immense power over the lives of millions of Americans, yet it operates with a level of secrecy that shields it from meaningful oversight. To ensure that justice is not only served but seen to be served, citizens must demand greater transparency and accountability from this critical institution. What do you think? Does the DOJ need reform, or are these concerns overstated? The truth lies in the details, if we're allowed to see them.